Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another plan update. It's plan update 17. I believe it's been about a week and a half, I think, maybe 2 weeks, week and a half. Since my last plan update, we're in mid to late May. We'll start off here with the flame trees. Here's the biggest flame tree. It's looking pretty good. It's had some new growth since the last time we saw it, and look at its trunk. It's doing some interesting things. Can't really see it from this angle, but it's got like a stripe pattern to it. Let's see if I can get closer there. Well, it's not gonna focus, but everything's looking pretty good on it. It's got 4 canopies, and it's working on a 5th one, so it's looking pretty good. Interesting, one of the canopies just decided to grow right on top of the other one, so I'm guessing I'm going to lose that one underneath of it. But, it's growing season, so it's fully sending. It looks like it's even sending another branch, so it did get fertilized. These 4 trees did get fertilized at the same time with the liquid fertilizer that I mixed in with the water to prevent the molding issue that we had a couple updates ago. And honestly, I think it could use a little more. Because what I'm reading online, the green pattern, or the green color, dark green color, means that it's got all its nutrients, and all these new canopies seem to be a little lighter green. So I did start off very conservatively with the fertilizer, just because, again, everything that I researched says that you should start off slow, and you can always add more, but you can't really take away. If you put too much on them, you might kill them. So yeah, but they're due to be fertilized again in like another week, and I think I'll just give them a little more fertilizer, see if we can't get the light green to turn dark green and get some new growth. But this guy, the smallest one, he actually fully sent this canopy since we last updated, so that's good, and looks like he's working on another one. His tiny leaves right there are yellow. Could mean that he didn't get enough fertilizer. This one, again, 2 canopies, sending a 3rd, and a 4th one it looks like he's starting. The Brazilian rain tree is looking very green, very dark green, very good. I pruned here. You can see where I all pruned, and it's already like back. So it's getting plenty of what it needs. It's sending everything. I was hoping it would grow more out, but my plan is just leave it growing like this until it's time to prune it again. Probably next year, honestly. See how big I can get it, and then prune it down to something smaller, and kind of want to make it wider. So that's a long time coming, but for now, it's looking really good. So along with these 3 bonsais, so another kind of challenge for everything that I've been growing, since everything right here is mostly tropical except for these 3. But when it comes to watering, I have to really watch the soil for mold. I've noticed, just the way I'm keeping them in this plant tent, and they don't really need that much water if you keep them in these tents. And so yeah, but basically I just wait until the soil looks like it's dry. This one looks like it might be getting a little dry, but still, you can also feel the pot. Another thing I've learned, and if it feels pretty heavy, it's still got a decent amount of moisture in there, so don't necessarily need to be overwatering it. But so these are the lodgepole pines. This is probably the best looking one. I did not fertilize these. If you're wondering why they look so funky, it is because the cats got to them. I think this little guy is going to die, probably. He was falling over, so I put some soil around his the base of his stem there to see if he can bounce back. But as far as inside growth, it's pretty good here. But like I said, the cats decided to prune them a little early. So we'll see if they survive. But yeah, so they're looking pretty good. Like I said, I probably will try to fertilize them with the same stuff I'm giving these guys. It's bonsai fertilizer the next time around when I fertilize. So, but yeah, so these are the bonsais I got so far. Pretty happy with them. Moving on to the palm seedlings. These guys have been in the tent pretty much since the entire last update. They did get a little bit of time outside. As you can see, it's pretty temperate and cloudy out there today, so wouldn't be such a good day for them out there today, but they're looking pretty good. Here's that tallest one. These communal pots, I think, are going to present kind of a problem as these guys start growing, but I think I'm just going to leave them in there because I really don't have any more space for other pots, but they are looking fine. I mean, they're growing fine. So the only problem is when it is time eventually to repot them, we might run into some rooting issues and stuff, but they're looking good. Again, they're retaining a lot of water, so I haven't really had to water them often. This palm seedling right here, I'm going to try and pull them out so you can see, is growing a third frond. First one that I've noticed so far from the seedlings growing from seed. And another thing I've noticed, I think I might have said this before, but the ones I have in actual pots seem to retain water a lot better and longer. So they haven't really needed to be watered much, very low maintenance lately. As far as fertilization goes for the palms, at this age when they're seedlings, I've been told not to fertilize them, but I also am keeping an eye on, like this, for example, the way it's kind of curling. I don't know if you can tell, but when they start curling, I've had a couple seedlings do that and then they end up dying, so hopefully that's not what's happening here. This one is also curling. It's a better example since it's much bigger. So I don't know if that's a watering issue. I don't think it's a fertilizing issue because they're too young, I think, for fertilizer. And the soil that they've been in less than 6 months, so, and it's supposed to have enough nutrients for them for a while. I would think, at least for this growing season. Those three are looking good, and the communal pots are looking good. So, yeah, I don't. As far as fertilization goes, I think we'll have to wait for the palms, but I'll try to do a little more research, try and figure out what that curling means and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're looking pretty good. So, still green. In the nursery, I started some new bonsais, some Colorado blue spruce, some Jacanratas, and black spruce. They've been in for approximately 6 days now, and the Jacanratas are already sprouting. So I got one there, and one right there. You can kind of tell. Still some dirt on his on the top of him, but he's sprouting. Another thing I'm noticing, got some mold right there. I'm gonna have to take these out. So again, it's just the way that I have to keep them secure in those little domes. They just, with the climate right now and the what I'm keeping them in, just really accelerates mold growth. So that's something that I have to keep an eye out on for. Keep an eye on right now. So unfortunately, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we got a nice little growth before next update, so I can show you for these little seedlings here. And once they get big enough, they'll go into the bonsai tent over there with the other bonsais. So, but they're just starting to sprout. Like I literally just noticed it this morning. So, but moving on outside. It's gonna be a long update, I think. Oh yeah, we installed some lights. They look nice. It's very rainy today. Rainy and cold. 56 degrees. As you can see, I don't think the humidity there is too accurate, but so here we have some garden vegetables. Last time they were all in communal pots. Here I have them decently organized. We lost a lettuce plant yesterday. The best looking one was right there, and I guess it was cat food. So, but yeah, we got 3 lettuce plants here. Carrots. We also lost a carrot plant yesterday. RIP. These have been planted since the 29th of April, and there's some onion here. Over here we have our experimental palms, or sacrificial palms. You see that white on the frond there? I'm not sure what that means. It's one of the things I'm working on learning about. Yeah, I don't know if it's a soil issue, but this experimental palm had a bunch of mold, and its pot's not looking very good at all, you know. So, but I'm just gonna leave them in there, see if it survives, because why not? And this one joined it because it's also not looking the best. That was the folding of the frond there was from cat trauma, but it also does have spotting on its newest frond, so, and it also has mold growing on it, so it's out here to see what's going on, see if it can survive. But it should exemplify the resilience of those things. So more garden vegetables. Sugar snap peas doing okay. We got the tomato plant. They really haven't grown much, and I think it's because they're getting a lot of moisture. But you know what? They'll bounce back. Actually, looks like this thing has grown a new leaf, so it's growing. This one's definitely growing. These ones, could be better. There's a weed right here. Could be better, but not too concerned about garden vegetables. They'll bounce back. Oh, look at our Majesty palm. He's working on his new frond. Just been shooting it up. Hasn't really expanded it, but it has gotten a lot taller, as you can see. And he's another little one right there. So, and I haven't had to trim any of the old fronds. I mean, they're still pretty green. You're not supposed to trim them until they look completely yellow. So, looking good. He got some water not too long ago. Really very low maintenance, very fun to grow. Look at this, our Robusti, little Robusta we got in the mail is growing another frond, and it's looking a little more green. I really wish I could cut that off, but I'm not going to mess with it. You know, it does look a little shitty, but he's got a brand new frond. He's pushing that sucker out, and the other one's looking okay too. The edges of this is starting to yellow, but again, we're not cutting it until the whole thing is yellow. And it's also growing another frond. This thing, I just recently gave water, that's why the soil looks damp, but it takes a long time for this pot to dry out. I'm talking like 2 weeks. So this thing, I very rarely water with our temperate climate that I'm living in here. I mean, it takes even longer for it to dry out, so yeah, I've just been waiting. This thing is bounced back. It's kind of good to see. The grass, yay, grass. Last time I updated you on this citrus plant, it did not have this, or any of these new leaves. So it's shot up nicely, and it's growing, pushing out new leaves nicely. So again, I just water as soon as the soil gets dry. Over there in the corner, got a little, I don't really know, it's just something I tried spontaneously, but I went and found a maple tree in the woods, or at least what I think is a maple tree, and I pulled it out, and I'm trying to bonsai it. So I took some bonsai wire and just wired it, planted it, and we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna, that orange spot's new, but other than that, the leaves are still kind of green. I did this about a week ago. So I got curvature in the trunk all the way up. So we'll see what happens with that. This is the Japanese maple cutting. Cutting meaning I literally just cut a branch off, small little branch off a Japanese maple tree that I found, and put it in the ground. So you're supposed to be able to grow Japanese maples like that, and the idea is to one day, if this does grow, it looks kind of sad right now, but the idea is to make it into a bonsai tree, so kind of like what I'm doing with that one. And we'll see. That's purely experimental. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to trees at that age and trying to turn them into bonsais. I've just been watching a lot of different YouTubers, bonsai YouTubers lately, and kind of got inspired, so I'm just figured I'd try something new. But yeah, so there's your plant update. It's nice and rainy today, but overall pretty good plant update, I think. Got some good news to report. So yeah, sorry about it being so long, but there's your plant update. A1 Plant Sauce out.